Hello, I'm gonna have this model I want to export to Fusion. So there's a bit going on here, as you can see. Bracing, slabs, so as you can see, we don't have a lot of connections in up here yet. They're still deciding on some stuff up there. All the bolts are off. So what I'm going to do is come down here. If I go to my tab up here, we can turn all the bolts on. Obviously, when there's a lot of bolts, it's good practice to turn them off and speed up your system a little bit. So get a lot of bolts there in that column. So just having a look, there's some, this is still in the early stages. There's some stuff has to be fixed. So basically, I'm going to save this as another file. So I'm going to save this as Fusion. And I'm just going to go through and start deleting some stuff to export. So select similar is my preferred way of doing this. It seems to get rid of a lot of stuff, as you can see there already. I've got rid of a lot of stuff. So just deleting lines and stuff. You can do Q select if you want. Lines. Select all, okay. Delete all the lines. Q select. Polylines. And so on. So you can keep doing it like this. Delete. Now, I'm not going to get too crazy because you don't need to delete everything. So, if there's any of these things I don't want, like these slabs, maybe for now, they're probably all on the same layer. They're on the plates layer. So let's just grab these slabs and let's put them on some obscure layer on their own. So even we just do concrete slabs, I guess. That's on the concrete slabs. The color also affects it. So what I'll do is I'll select these again. Advanced properties. Sorry, wrong one. I just meant to do properties, not advanced properties. So go to your properties tab. By layer. Sorry, sometimes it won't let you pick them all. Alright. By layer. Okay. We'll just change those slabs. Alright. So that's pretty good. Have most of the stuff. You know, obviously I don't want these. So select similar. Delete. Okay. Alright, I'm not going to get too crazy like I said. So come in over here and you can also, there's a power pack feature that you can use, but my power pack doesn't work. So I'm just I do it the manual way, which is pretty quick anyway. So come in here to your selection filter and you want to select connection boxes and delete those. So we're going to delete all the connection boxes. The next thing is you want to delete the welds. You don't have to either, but I generally delete them. So we can see there's 721 objects being deleted right now from these connection boxes. And then we will just scroll down and we'll delete the welds and then we can export the model. Now, the orientation, usually you can have the Z-axis going up, which is normal, but if you want to export this to like the organ app, I rotate it once around the X-axis, and that means that your model comes in the right way in the organ app, but most people aren't probably using that anyway, so that doesn't really matter. So I'm just waiting a second. Sorry, it's just breaking up all these connections, so it takes a minute. And shouldn't really take this long, to be honest. So this is a model that I got from somebody else who I'm working with. So this is not actually my own model. So I've just, this was created in Advanced State 2020. So I've just upgraded it to 2021. So it's deleted all those. Right, so now I'm going to select all the welds, and there's over 1,000 welds. The following profile cannot be found. So they have a special user threaded rod, which is fine. And now we're going to delete the weld symbols. And then we're going to export the model. So we're going to export the model. So first I will rotate through the X-axis. Okay, so you can see Y is up. And now I'm going to do File, Export, Other Formats. And I like to do IGES. You can do whatever way you want, I guess. Just going to select everything inside the window. Okay, that's good. Alright, so exported. So that should be exported. So let's open the file. And we can see here's the IGES. So what we're going to do is we'll open Fusion 360. And we'll upload this. I'll pause the video while it's uploading because it might take like 2 minutes or something like that. Doesn't take too long, but it will take a minute or two. So you can see I'm a little offset here because I have the extra wide monitor, as you probably know already. So I'm just going to come in and go into the clients. And then I'm going to upload, select files, come in here and pick it, and it's in here, Fusion, open. So, and just sometimes I forget to click on the upload here, so you want to upload this. Now, oh, made a mistake. I was wondering why it worked so fast. My mistake. Let's go back. I do forget this quite often, actually. I didn't explode these, so be careful, because if you have some of these created as solids, now these are plates, if you have some of these created as solids, you don't want to explode them, so you want to come in here and go to, sorry, your selection filter, advanced steel, so it'll select all the advanced steel objects. Sometimes the highlight doesn't show up. And then come up here and go to explode. So you have to explode this first. Sorry. So before you upload it, you need to explode it. So this is probably going to take a minute. So I'm going to pause it. This is probably like a minute, 2 minutes. So let me pause this and then we'll get back to it. So it's finished exploding, and strangely, this hasn't happened to me before. Everything is gray. I don't know why that is. It's really quite strange. So I'm going to export it now and see. But this could lead to a problem for me, because I believe the colors of the layers is what controls it when it gets to Fusion. So it would mean that I would have to apply the finishes or appearances to each part individually. So let's just see what happens, I guess. So you can see down the bottom here, it's exporting that, and it is exported, I guess. So if I go back to Fusion and upload, select the files, let's just check. So there is no file. I don't even know where the other one has gone. That's a little strange. So let's have a look. So it's saying that the file is in here. There's something weird going on here. So it's saying that that's exported. If I click on these, they should be solids. Yeah. Now, let me check the properties of this. By layer, right? So it's not set by layer. So maybe if I turn on, let me turn on the 2D view. Let's select everything. Color. By layer. Not sure why it exploded that way. It hasn't happened to me before. Alright, so that's a little better. More like what I want. So you can see that advanced steel is kind of stopped a little bit, so just give it a second. Generally, when you're working on these projects, you're going to have areas isolated anyway, so it's not like it's going to be slowing you down that much. Alright, so now let's try export this again and see what happens. Other formats, now it's saying that there is an IGES file there. I'll just call this something different because this is the layers, and then we'll select everything. Now if I go back to the folder, the IGES one has come in, so it just wasn't ready that time. So what I'll do is I'll upload that one while I'm waiting. So I'll go to Fusion, select files, this one here, upload. See, it's 953 megabytes, so it's a lot bigger this time. If you notice that it's so small, then it's you forgot to explode it probably. So this is still uploading, and we'll go back here. This file is ready. So what I generally do then is save this as Fusion exploded, and then I'll have 3 different files. Save, and let's go back here. And you can see this is going to open up here. So what we'll do is we'll just pause the video again and wait for that. Hello, back. So it took quite a while, like 10 or something minutes, I don't know. It took a while. I was uploading 2 of them, and one of them seems to have paused. Now I have advanced steel, I have some drawings open, I have stuff open, so I should probably close some other stuff before I start working on this. Let me just give it a second, see if this will at least open. Alright, there it is. So what I'll do is I'll have a look at this for a second. I really need to output these drawings for this other job, so what I'll do is let me just set the origin here. So let's go up here to the top and right click on the cube, set current view as top. So it came in at a funny orientation because I had rotated the UCS. So you can see it's starting to look like something. It's a pretty bad brown color down there. Wouldn't be my choice of colors. So I guess what you want to do then is just head into the rendering tab. And what I'll do is I'll go back, finish up what I was doing in advanced steel, and I'll pop back to this and we'll do a little rendering quickly, and I'll take it from there. I should have deleted this curb that they have in here, but I'll leave it for now. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Hi, so I just sent out those approvals, and let's have a look at this. Let me try and resize this to work with my screen recorder. Somewhere over there somewhere. Pretty close. Alright, so I've had some problems with my rendering gallery recently. So let's go in here and we'll start changing up some of these things. So let's see, this is probably the concrete, right? So let's go to other and environment, concrete tiles and concrete. This is a bit of a pain. Regularly, it's really annoying with Fusion, and it generally just happens on my laptop where it won't let you download a material and you have to close out. So what I'll do is I'll just continue with what I can load without having to shut down. So because we're just going to do something quick here anyway. So let's do steel rough. If I put this up here and then edit, I'll rename this as columns. So we can have columns 1 and columns 2, or we can just have columns. So let's just do columns for now, and we'll kind of give them a red hint to them. Okay, so that's the columns. So we can just apply it to the bottom ones first. So it's those ones. So it's this green here, and then, or sorry, this brown, this other brown then is for this other crap down here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just drag this over this, and it will make this other one also disappear. So it kind of clears up your extra one. See, it gets rid of that one. So now we've just applied that steel one. So we can see this is probably this steel here. So what I'm going to do is take the columns, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to call it beams, and we'll give it a bit of a blue tint to it. And then I'll select this and I'll drag it over this one. It'll take a second because there's a lot of them, and you can see. So there, the steel is in there now, and now the problem is these are plates, right? So if I change them all, the walls are going to be yellow as well. This is yellow, these are plates. So you need to change some of these manually. So for now, what I'll do is I'll just duplicate. I'm just doing this a quick way today. And I'll make these plates, and then we'll do a yellow, done. And these plates I'm going to apply to all these brown ones. Alright, so it's done the base down here as well, which I don't really want to do, but you know, it looks a little better than before. So what I'm going to do is, this doesn't really matter. These are the concrete floors, which I can't get the concrete right now, so I'll just call this slabs. Done. And then I'll duplicate that and call this walls. And then I can change these later. It'll be easier because I'll know what they are. So we can just apply these finishes down here. This is obviously a slab down here, so put a slab there. Walls. So as I say, I did not create this model. This is a job I'm working with somebody on. So you can see I could do a change on all these as well. But anyway, you know, there's definitely some issues with, you know, these haven't been decided yet, so they haven't been complete. So what I'll do then is we'll change the bolts also over to something that's a little easier on the eye. A lot of bolts, so it's taking a second. Yeah, just give it a second, and then I'm not going to do much more, to be honest. So what I'll do is we'll close out that in a second. It's just still trying to figure out the bolts, and we'll just have a look at maybe changing the background here. Just be patient, because you know, I also have tabs open in Chrome which do quite slow it down, so if you want to close some of your tabs, that can be useful to make it go a little faster. Alright, so you can see it's just regenerating here. Alright, so we'll zoom out. Now I would like to have concrete appearance on that concrete, but it's not going to happen because I'm not going to shut it down and open it up again. So what we'll do is come in here, change your background environment. Photo booth's usually pretty good. Seems a little cool light sometimes can be nice. So you can see all these yellow objects which are concrete. I really need to go and change those because it just doesn't look great. So let's come in here for a second. Now you can, if you come back to, see, if you try and pick this, it's trying to pick faces, right? Now if you go onto a corner where there's two faces, it will select an object. And then you can drag this over. So like there, and then you can go here and press the select button, and you can try and do all of these. Now you can see I just selected a face there, so that's no good. So that can be difficult to do. So let's just see. So it'll probably apply just to the face on this one. So what you can do is go back to design, and if I go to select selection priority, and I can do select body priority, and then go back to render. Now it's automatically selecting the whole body, which is what you kind of want, especially when you're working this way. So this is slabs. So you can just drag it one at a time if you want. So these should really be peers. I should really separate these, and we can have them the same color but just different control, so it's got a different group. So we'll just do these last couple and then we'll see what we got. Now you can also do this like I was saying, and it'll do all three of those. So could just do a rendering in this way. So if you want to just see what it looks like, you can just press the play button and it'll, I won't say quickly because it's large model enough, it'll give you some sort of realistic view of it. As you can see, my concrete is not much use because it's so shiny. So really we need to download the concrete. Also, I don't like this color here, so let's stop that and let's go back in here and let's do duplicate, and let's do a darker blue here for bracing, and then drag this darker blue over the bracing, which is this one. Should be this one, yeah. So that looks a little better, right? So the concrete is the only thing, but maybe we can find something to, let's say, if we can find something, ground plan, paper, white, that might work a little better. So let's go here, select objects applied to, because I want to keep the other one, and that's the walls. So what I'll do is paper walls, and that probably looks a little better, right? Doesn't really matter. And then we'll do play and see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks a little better on the eye. It's not shiny concrete. So that's kind of where you're going. And then you can also add decals. So if I want to do a decal, insert from computer, I'll just put in my logo, and we can put it on the floor if you want. And this is not the clear one. I like to use the clear one. It says it's clear, but it's not. Probably from opening it in Paint and closing it again, we'll remove that. So you can see this is flipped, so we need to flip it back. There we go. Then we can drag it in underneath this dunnage if we want. Okay, and then if you play, you can see it should give you a pretty decent view with the image on there. Now you can let it run this way and then capture image, or you can go into render, and I usually do a local render, and custom is good for now. You can pick whatever size you want there and render. Now I've had issues with rendering recently where if they're not coming out properly on the local rendering, I'll do the cloud rendering, but then they weren't coming out properly either and they were taking my credits. So just be careful. I'd say just try and do local renderings and hopefully that'll work for you. But anyway, there's a kind of a run through getting the project into Fusion 360 for rendering. I haven't done one in a while, so maybe that helps. Alright, take care.